Hello and welcome to this quick video about inverse functions. Now the inverse of a function undoes everything that has already been done to x, to our unknown. So thinking about composite functions, f of f minus 1x will equal x if you have an inverse. And if I had a graph, so let's say that this was a graph of my fx. If I had the line y equals x, f minus 1x, the inverse of x, is going to be a reflection in the line y equals x. Now fortunately we don't always have to do all of that. We don't need to multiply two things together until we find x. We don't need to draw a graph and find the picture of the inverse. We're able to do it algebraically. And there's a nice little trick. Now the first thing I'm going to do here is let y equal 3x plus 2. Now what I'm going to do next is rearrange to make x the subject. So y minus 2 is equal to 3x, and y minus 2 over 3 is equal to x. And this last bit seems a bit odd, but it comes from the fact that it's a reflection in y equals x. I'm going to swap x and y. So x minus 2 over 3 equals y. And what that's now telling me is my inverse function is x minus 2 over 3. So the inverse function of x is x minus 2 over 3. And it is important that when you're answering this question you do put f minus 1x, not leave it as y equals. And it is important that you do actually swap the x and y. You don't put f minus 1x is equal to y minus 2 over 3. So we'll look at it again with another one. It doesn't matter if we're using this different terminology. The same steps are going to be true. So I'm going to let y equal 5 over 2x. And I want to rearrange this to make x the subject. So 2x is equal to 5 over y. Multiply both sides by 2x and divide both sides by y, or just swap the y and the 2x. And you divide both sides by 2, so x is 5 over 2y. Swap the x and y, so y is equal to 5 over 2x, which is telling me the inverse function of x is 5 over 2x. So this function is self-inverse. If you think about the shape of the graph, that would tell you why. So the graph for 5 over 2x looks like this. And if I do a reflection in y equals x, it's going to map back on itself. Just one more example, going through the same steps again. So I'm going to let y equal 5 minus 3x over 7. Rearrange to make x the subject, so I'm going to get 7y equals 5 minus 3x. So 5 minus 7y is equal to 3x. So x is 5 minus 7y over 3. Swap the x and the y. Y is equal to 5 minus 7x over 3. So the inverse function of g is 5 minus 7x over 3.